What up, world? And it's me again. This I haven't done a video in a while, but I'm back for the weekly review of the NFL um week 8. So we're halfway through the season, um, week 8. So let's start with the worst game of the week, worst game of the year, potentially. Awful uniforms, awful game. Watched 2 plays in total. I'm just joking. I wish I would have. I watched the whole thing and it was awful. Um, Thanks, Blake Bortles, for getting me some fantasy points. But other than that, it was a awful, awful, awful game that nobody should watch. Um, Next, let's go to the London game. Um, the Redskins versus the Bengals ended in a tie. Um, yeah, it made sense to me. An uninteresting game, offensive firepower though, so that made it interesting. But for the most part, it was um, a battle of teams who would be lucky to get a playoff spot. Um, let's go next. We go Chiefs and Colts. Chiefs beat the Colts handily, and that's what you should expect. The interesting part here, Alex Smith went down, and Nick Foles stepped in and had a good game, a very good game, um, in his absence. So that was impressive, and it's not good when your leading rusher is your quarterback, unless you're, Cam Newton or Russell Wilson or Kaepernick. I guess I don't really consider him a quarterback. Anyway, so with all that being said, Andrew Luck, boy, he's putting that team on his shoulders. And I don't know how long that's going to last, but good luck to you, Andrew Luck. As for the Chiefs, they are a very formidable uh, contender for the playoffs. They might not get, they should get a wild card, and you might see 2 wild card teams from the same conference. Um, and speaking of which, let's get to the Raiders. They were an overtime game. A lot of mistakes in this game, folks. A lot of mistakes, but the Raiders, I will say, have a way of winning games. They have a way of finding a way to win, and that's what matters really. Your record is what will get you into the playoffs, and if you're winning games, that's what matters. So um, the Buccaneers, I think, are a team that is missing a few pieces, but they could be a decent team. They got a lot of young players. Um, the Raiders, I don't know how certain I am that I would predict them to go to the playoffs. But, you know, uh, and if not now, and they're already being solid, in the future, they're going to be good. They're going to be good. Let's go Patriots, Bills, and the Patriots and the Bills, 41-25. Uh, it's what I expected. Um, First of all, I'd like to apologize for Shady McCoy, LaShawn McCoy. He's out there playing even though last week against the Dolphins, even though he shouldn't have been because he was injured and he wasn't. He clearly was affected by it, and then he hurts it again in the game. So don't do that, Bills. You got some weapons. Don't don't hurt your weapons because you're not going to the playoffs this year. Let's be really honest. I don't think it's going to happen unless there's a weird explosion of winning culture, but I don't see it happening. The Patriots, though, they're my lock for the Super Bowl. Who's going to contest with that in the AFC? Nobody, because that's domination. That's what that is. Tom Brady, I don't care what anybody says, and I'm going to do a clip about this later in the week, um, is a worthy MVP candidate. I know he missed a quarter. He's missing a quarter of the season. Uh, But if his stats stay the way they are and they're better than the majority of the people in the NFL, um, or better than everybody's in the NFL, and he has 132 quarterback rating. Um, I forget. I mix the two stats up. It doesn't even matter. The point of the matter is, if he plays like he's playing now, 70% completion, um, and all those touchdowns and no interceptions, you're looking at an MVP candidate, folks. And as weird as that is to think about, if he missed 4 games, he might deserve it. Next, we have the Seahawks and the Saints. A tight game. I'm surprised. You know, my takeaway is surprised that the Seahawks would lose this game. The Saints' defense is not as bad as we like to paint it as. I mean, it's been consistently bad over the last 3, 4 years, but I think they finally can string together a formidable defense, and the Seahawks haven't impressed me all that much, to be honest with you. I know they're 4-2-1 with a tie, but I mean they'll go. I'm sure that they're the type of team that will go to the playoffs, but I don't know what they're looking like right now. I don't know all that much about them. We're halfway through. I mean, so this last half obviously is going to be important, and the NFL is a league where every week really matters, and we know the Seahawks have a track record of being playoff contenders, but I just don't know with the play right now what is going on. But good for the Saints. I'll give them that. Lions Texans. I watched this game. I was uninterested. Brock Osweiler is a bad quarterback. Won him the game though, so there's that. But I was expecting to come on here and say, "Oh, the Lions, you better watch out, Packers, because the Lions are going to steal your spot." Then they did a Lions-like thing, and they managed to lose um, to the Texans, who have shaky quarterback play. The Lions, uh, God bless you for trying, Matt Stafford, but you can't carry a team all by yourself. And as much hate as I've given Matt Stafford in my life, I gotta appreciate his effort. He's an MVP candidate as well. His team probably won't make it to the playoffs, but his numbers are solid, and he's scraping that team together with their lack of running back. So his effort has to be commended, in my opinion. Uh, Good win for the Texans, though. The AFC South is truly awful, and they seem like a lock to win it, I guess. Jets and Browns, disgusting game, gross game. Not. I will say this. I'm saying all these things that are negative. Uh, I'm talking about teams in terms of the negativity. I mean, this is a close game. Um, the Browns always find a way to lose, and that shouldn't surprise you. The Jets, I think, are bad. They need to draft a quarterback. Um, Matt Forte, seeming like a good pickup. Um, and we know McCown has a history of being streaky, but all that being said, the game has really no significance all that much unless the Jets win every game the rest of the season, which I don't see happening. We're going to go Cardinals-Panthers, another shocking result for me. I was like, the Cardinals, even if you win these games, you can get yourself into a good spot and contend for a playoff spot. No, and I don't think the Panthers, unless they're going to roll strong uh, through the rest of the season, I would have a tough time believing it. But you know what? Maybe the Panthers will round up into Super Bowl form and sneak in, but I just don't know. So this game was confusing to me. I'm still bewildered by the result. that being said, um, I have no idea what playoff implications this will have. If the Panthers get rolling, we know they're scary, but too bad for the Cardinals because you just blowing shots right now. Chargers and Broncos. Okay. With the Broncos, this is the type of game you should expect them to win heftily. Um, I will say this for the Chargers. Your defense is stepping up a little bit, but um, it's hard to defend when Rivers throws interception after interception after interception. They just uh, the Chargers find ways to lose. The Broncos are a competent defense, and I say competent meaning they're very good. They're a very good defense. Do I think they're the best defense in the league? No, but we're going to get to that. Um, it's bewildering to me that they're winning with Trevor Siemian, but whatever they're doing, they can continue because they are playoff bound in the tightly contested AFC West, which is another phrase didn't think I would ever say. Um, Packers Falcons. Wow, wow, wow. This was a good game. This was a good game. I was on a road trip, so I was listening to it in my car. And normally I don't enjoy. Well, I mean, I always enjoy football, but I normally don't enjoy listening to games as much. But this is some gunslinging action. Came down to the wire. I listened to every second of it, and it's a great game. Aaron Rodgers, again, I said I don't have faith in him before. I don't have faith in him now, unless uh, unless you want a strike season, then I'll take him. Anyway, Matt Ryan, valuable player, and I think he's an MVP candidate as well. Falcons look like the favorite to win that uh, conference, or win the NFC South. Um, so good offense, and that was a good duel. That was a good game. Another good duel. Eagles and Cowboys, and I think this was the battle of the rookies, really. Um, Ezekiel and Dak shined. Um, Dak, this is the first time he looked like a rookie to me, in my honest opinion. He started out the game not so well. He he was under 50% completion rate, but Zeke's a beast. Zeke is a beast. That's that's truly what it's all about. They got a running back and a quarterback for the future. Trade Tony Romo or let him go. It doesn't matter. Your pieces are there and you're winning games, and they're a favorite in the NFC. Let's be honest about it. So speaking of the NFC and who I thought would be a favorite, let's go to the final Monday night game, which was really, really bad. Bad, bad in terms of, I mean, I bet on the Bears, but I didn't think it was going to happen. The point of the matter is, wow. And in defense of the Vikings defense, uh, you give up less than 20 points a game, and you hope your offense can get 20, right? They couldn't get anything. They couldn't get a thing. Minnesota, sign somebody to run the ball. If you're putting your faith in Matt Asiata, no, it's a bad idea. Get a running back who's been proven over the past. There are free agents out there you can take. Just spend some money and get it done. You are a valid contender in the NFC. A valid contender. Don't let it slip away because you can't run the football. Get a running back. Anyway, interesting week of football. Those are my takeaways. A little longer video, but uh, thanks for watching and subscribe and peace.